on Facebook, and I thought, well, even if this is an experiment, I'd try to do something with it. And so I thought I would talk about some of the new systems that I've gotten. I recently returned from Egypt. That's quite another story. It was very interesting traveling there under the shadow of the coronavirus and not knowing if we would be able to get home. But while I was there in Egypt, I made it a point to find as many beautiful systems as I possibly could, and here are some of them. Um, this is a type that I found in a number of places in Egypt, either cast out of resin or clay, and it's a nice one about, I'd say about 16 inches high, and it has a nice good jingle, so it's a good ceremonial system that I'm looking forward to leading ceremonies with this and calling in the congregants. And it is a typical double-sided Hathor head type of sistrum. As I said, this one I could find in a lot of different places in Egypt, and so I was very happy and got as many colors and types as I could. It's almost exactly the size of my face, so that's kind of fun. Okay, so here's one, and that I found that one colors. This is a resin one. This is kind of nice. It gives it that kind of wood look to it, but this is cast out of like a resin material. One thing I noticed right away is that these are actually made out of two parts. The handle joins to the hoop right there, and several of them did break in transit, so I've repaired them, but like almost every system I've ever had, continuous shaking will eventually cause some cracks or other problems. You just have to get used to doing a little system maintenance now and again. So that's the brown one. This is a version of it which is cast out of clay, and so it's a little bit different. A little bit different sound to it too, but still essentially the same design, with the powdered substance making the hieroglyphs stand out. So these are nice. I'm glad to have them, but then I love having all the systems. So now here's one that I just found one example of, and it's quite similar at first glance to the others, but it's more dimensional, and it's also double-headed Hathor style, different kind of face. And what I think is really kind of interesting with it is that it has its discs, and its discs are, it might actually be made from scratch. Some of them look like they might be from coins, but I'm not sure. But what I really found intriguing is that they've put in these little cut bits of plastic here to protect the frame from being hit too hard by the metal discs. And that implies to me that whoever made this system actually uses a system and knows that it's a problem when the discs can whack against a more delicate frame. So I'm not real happy with the plastic, but I understand what they're going for here. So that was nice. Okay. And this one, I had the opportunity to buy a bunch of these, and I didn't. I got two of them, and then the guy was coming with us out to the tour bus and presumably was going to sell us some more. And then I don't know if he saw someone or if he realized he wasn't allowed to go all the way to the tour bus past the gateway or something, but suddenly he just kind of vanished. And if you know anything about buying things in Egypt, the people trying to sell you things never vanish. That you cannot make them vanish. It's impossible. So I'm not quite sure. Anyway, he ran back with all of his additional sistra, and so I was very sorry about that. But this one is all cast out of apparently one piece. I'm really looking forward to it being a durable one. It's a little uneven, and they all were like that. So it's a different one. Very thin discs, also brass, and I'm interested. This too has the double-headed Hathor on it. So I'm very fond of this one already. It's a little heavy. It's not going to be, if you have a wrist problem or something like that, or you're doing a really long ceremonial or musical performance, this one's going to be heavy in your hand. It takes some extra energy to keep going. So anyway, it has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 discs. So good lunar number. Not quite as, I usually use 13 when I'm making mine, but 12 comes close. Alrighty, so there's that one. Now, I'm saving my best one for last, so hang in there. This is one that I got in the market at Luxor, and I'd gone into this one shop asking if they had sistra and sistrums, and I thought I'd made myself pretty clear on what I was looking for. But that wasn't quite the case, because the assistant to the guy ran back out into the market and said, "Oh, we can get you those." And he came back and triumphantly had this bag full of something, and he reached it and pulled out exactly what I wanted, a fly whisk. Not quite. I mean, it was quite dramatic. It was a long horsehair fly whisk, and I probably should have gotten one of those just anyway. But my heart sank. I said, "Oh no, it's like a rattle, shake, shake, shake." And, so I'm doing this little animation of what a sistrum is and what it sounds like. And then he kind of gets it, and he races back out into the marketplace, and I wait and wait and wait, and he finally comes back. And of course what he's doing is going around to every other stall trying to find what this crazy American woman wants. And so he brings out this big bag and starts pulling things from it. And again, my heart just sinks. He reaches in and he pulls out a rattle, a ball type rattle on a stick. I'm like, oh no. And, but that's not all he has. So he reaches back in and he pulls out another style of rattle, but not a sistrum. And then he reaches in again and he pulls out one of those little drum type things with the two balls attached that you play like this, and the balls hit the little drum part, and I'm just going, oh no. And I'm so sorry. And he's just trying so hard to please and being so nice about it. And then he pulls this out and I go, yes, 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 that's it. And so I was very happy to get this one because it's a little bit different. It's a much smaller sistrum, as you can see. It's only single-sided, and it's kind of the discount sistrum because it has all of 2 jangles here. And I don't think I've ever encountered a sistrum that only has 2 jangles. But nonetheless, it's very nice, not really loud, but it's easy to use. This would be great to do oral purifications, things like that with. It's not too loud, so you can work around someone's ears without making them crazy. And so I'm very fond of this. I'm not sure if the color is showing up. It's actually a deep sort of lapis blue, but of course it's not actually made of lapis. Okay, and now here's the one that I really debated over. This was expensive, and I was, just really wondering if I should go for it, but I couldn't really resist. And this was another situation where I'd found a really nice jewelry shop, a hotel jewelry shop actually, and asked, because I saw like an Ankh, wall type Ankh, if they had any sistrums. And the first night the guy couldn't find them, but the second night he'd found them, and this is it. This one is lovely. It's all metal. It has some pre-fine detail in the face. You've got little snakes and this nice open work. It has one snake here. I think it should have a matching one there, but no such luck. And it has a kind of delicate frame. The jangles are made out of coins, and this nice handle is actually sealed with a coin that has a head of Cleopatra on it. And so I really could not resist. It's big, as you can see, and so it's perfect for leading a procession or something like that. So, and I love the face. You can see these beautiful little rosettes in Hathor's hair. Hathor has a really sweet face too, very pretty. And then this has a little bit of decoration here. You can get a good grip on this sistrum. And the only problem is that it is delicate. And it was so delicate that when I transported it with me in my travels in Egypt, this actually broke off. And I was fairly heartbroken, though I knew it was fragile, and I thought I'd have to wait until I got home to get it fixed. And I thought, well, wait a second, I'm on a boat in the middle of the Nile, and we were actually kind of stuck because there was a shutdown of all traffic on the Nile, not due to the coronavirus, but actually due to extreme weather conditions. And so we got to experience a sandstorm there, and also just experiencing the Nile with no boats on it, just the clear expanse of water, which was really kind of a special time. Though it was very problematic for people living in Cairo, and the flooding up there actually cost some lives and destroyed some houses. So it was pleasant for us, but not for a lot of other people. So anyway, I was so pleased about this, but I thought, I'm on a boat, and these guys have to keep this boat running. I bet they can weld something. And so that turned out to be true, and our wonderful guide arranged that one of the guys would try to weld it, and I was concerned, and we all looked at it, and the other people in the group, said, oh, well, it's going to really show and everything. But he did a beautiful job, and it just made it even more special to me that it was made in Egypt, it was repaired in Egypt, and now it's made its way home with me, despite an adventure with luggage which did not arrive with me. Anyway, so this one I think is really a beautiful one, and I hope that I can get some more of these. That's my plan. But in the meantime, we at least have this one to play with at the Temple of Isis at Isis Oasis. And when you visit here next, let me know, and I'll bring it out and show you some of these other sistra, and we should have a lot of fun with our events this year, assuming that we can have our events this year, playing with these new sistrums for the temple. So anyway, that's all for right now. I hope you've enjoyed it. Keep on shaking those sisters, and if this little live broadcast has worked, hopefully you'll see me back doing something else again soon. I'm trying to keep myself entertained, and I thought I might be able to keep you entertained too. All right, Goddess bless you, and keep on shaking.